Hello everybody, this is King Tut here and welcome to another Java tutorial. Now in this tutorial, I'll show you how to do while loop. But first, I'm going to define the while loop and then show you how to implement the while loop. And if you watch until that point, I will talk to you about how while loop is being implemented in different applications like game development, like software. You name it, because while loop is very useful. It's just as useful as for loop, but it's very versatile in many applications. If you know while loop, you pretty much know how to use it in various applications. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So we know that in the previous Java tutorial that for loop is basically going from A to B by means of increment or decrement. So basically you start at 0 and you want to end at 10 through increments of 1, or go from 10 to 0 through decrements of 1. So you could actually go from A to B, going from low to high through positive increments, and you go from high to low through negative increments. A while loop is very different from for loop. So it doesn't really go from A to B through increments. It basically executes the code inside on and on and on and on until the condition is false. So as long as the condition is true, the code gets executed inside that while loop. A for loop, it gets executed from until point B was reached. While loop, it's not like that. So let's have some fun, shall we? So in implementing the while loop, you basically put in while, and then you put in whatever conditions you want to put. So first of all, let's put in a variable, and let's put int x equal 9, just an arbitrary number. And then we put in while x is less than 9, and then you put these curly braces, and then you press enter so you could have the closing curly braces. It's basically how IntelliJ does it. And in the recording of this video, I'm using IntelliJ 2022.1. So if you haven't already, you could update the IntelliJ IDEA in the toolbox, in the JetBrains toolbox in the taskbar. And if you don't know what the JetBrains toolbox is, you could look at it was the second tutorial of which I showed you how to implement Java with IntelliJ, how to install Java with IntelliJ. All right, so inside that while loop, let's just put in, not cout, system dot out dot println. And let's just say King Tut is looping. Let's just end it with a caps. Actually, looping and with 2 exclamation points as always. And let's run this program. So what it's gonna do, it's just gonna compile this and then run it. All right, process ends. Finish with exit code 0. So why is it not doing it? Oh, well, that's why. Duh. Let's just put 8. Because it's already equal to 9. So that's why it couldn't run the while loop as intended, because the condition itself is false. So it just basically skips over the while loop. So let's do it again. And it keeps on looping on and on and on as long as x is less than 9. So how do we control this, right? How do we control this loop to eventually make x false? So before I could get into that, if you have an ongoing loop in the output, you could simply go hover your mouse over that red square, which is the stop button, and then you click on that, and bam, and it just says process finished with exit code 130. It's not 0, it's not clean. You just basically terminate it manually. All right. So let's make x 0, and then let's make x plus plus. So what it's going to do here is it's going to, since x is less than 9, it's 0, it's going to print out kingtut is looping, and then it's going to use that 0 value and add it by 1. And then it repeats the process again until x equals 9, which that's pretty much false. So let's run that one again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So basically it looped 9 times. So I know what you guys are thinking, that it looks like a for loop, but that's basically what it is, kind of a for loop, but except it doesn't go from A to B through means of increments or decrements. It basically loops it until this whole condition inside that parentheses is false. Let's have a better example. So let's do scanner. Actually, let's import scanner first of all. Util. Let's just do that. Hopefully that works. Scanner. Input. I think you put in, yeah, new scanner. And then you system.in. All right. And then basically you put in int. Let's just put y, and then put input next int. All right, so while x is less than 9, let's change it to y. While y is less than 9, system.printout, print line, kingtut is looping. Actually, let's move this. Right, nope. Control X, then Control V. There you go. So what's gonna do here, if everything is working as usual, so we're not gonna worry about int x. We're gonna take that variable out, and then so we basically declared a scanner, and we put it as new scanner, and system.in, and then while y is less than 9, it's gonna print out kingtut is looping, and then I declared a variable and I set it equal to the scanner, which will read an int value. So actually, now that I think about it, I actually caught myself. I'm supposed to declare. Why am I getting an error? Let's do int y equals 0. And then while y equals 9. Okay, so this cleared up. So what I did here is basically I declared a variable y, set it equal to 0, and then put a while loop here with the condition of y less than 9, and then it's gonna print out kingtut is looping, and then the same variable is equal to the scanner here, which will take the int input. And if I put in a value that is equal to 9, once it goes back to that condition to make sure if it's either true or false, it's gonna, since y is 9 and it's equal to 9, not less than 9, it's gonna be false. So it breaks the loop. So let's run this program. Does not exist. Alright, I came back. I should have known to put in java util.scanner. So that's basically the import here. Yes, I know I did a video of it. I've made a mistake. Don't judge. Alright. Alright, let's compile. Hopefully it works. Alright, so it says kingtut is looping, and it's waiting for us to put in a value. So let's just say 8. Alright, so since 8 is less than 9, it outputs again. It still loops. Let's put 9. And bam. So since 9 is not less than 9, it's equal to 9, the condition is false. And it basically stops the while loop. But let's make it practical because, you know, if you basically wrote that program for a client, they won't even understand what the hell it's trying to do. Like, I mean, it's gonna look unusable. So let's do system.out.println, and then let's put in enter a value. And no, not println, just print. Because println is just gonna tell this to go to the next line, and it's just gonna tell me to enter a value in the next line below the enter a value. So we just wanted to have it in the same line. All right, so let's rerun it. All right, so right there it says kingtut is looping, and it's telling me to enter a value. So let's see what value. Let's put 7. All right, so since 7 is less than 9, it's true, and it's gonna loop again, and it's telling me to enter another value. So let's put 10. And then process finished code 0. So basically got out of the loop, and basically the code has been executed successfully. So now you have watched to this point. I'm gonna talk to you about one of the benefits of while loop in different applications. So you need while loop when it comes to, say, game loop, or displaying your window for a very long time until the computer crashes all of a sudden. Heavens forbid. And basically, if you're in certain screen states in a game, which that's pretty much there's other ways to do it, but one of the prominent ways is using a while loop. So a very, very big thing about while loop, as I said, is basically keeping your windows. keeping your windows on the screen for as long as you can. Because if you don't implement the while loop, all it does is just gonna execute that the window's open. It's gonna close it right away, and it's gonna be doing it in a matter of split second, and you won't even notice. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep the window open until an event happens, until you click the close button or press escape. So that's where the while loop is very, very handy. And you're going to see it in many tutorial on different applications, say doing OpenGL tutorial, even my Allegro tutorial. Be sure to watch the Allegro tutorial series. It's a new one. It's going to come up very, very soon. So yeah, that's it might be a very small thing to do, but it's a very, very useful and very, very powerful features, a concept of pretty much any programming language that has while loops. So I hope you find this video helpful, and let me know in the comments what you think of this video, and be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, or click the fire button and follow me on Odyssey. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!